You've joined in on a Google Hangout with author Micheal Burt and Jeffrey Hayzlett. Jeffrey featured Micheal Burt in the Hayzlett Book Club not too long ago, and his book, Zebras and Cheetahs. Micheal Burt represents the new age leader, the zebra and cheetah, part coach, part entrepreneur, and all leader. Coach Burt is the go-to guy for entrepreneurs who want to become people of interest, salespeople who want to be superstars, and managers who want to be coaches. He's a former championship coach and author of 8 books. His radio show, Change Your Life Radio, can be heard globally on iHeart.com. Follow Coach Burt at CoachBurt.com. Jeffrey Hayzlett. Jeffrey needs no introduction. Everyone knows who he is. He's on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, everywhere. He's a speaker, author, entrepreneur, and now the host of C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett on Bloomberg. You can catch that Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. in Eastern and Pacific time. Take it away.
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's prime time. We're on prime time, and we're prime time right now here on Google+. And we're talking with my good friend Micheal Burt. Micheal, good to see you today. It's wonderful.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for having me, and congratulations on the new show. Really enjoy it.
Well, congratulations on your book as well, which is what we're here to talk about. Although I want to talk about that jacket. I think that jacket right there says it all.
Well, when we started writing this book, you know, we really wanted to stand out, look different. So I made a commitment that every time I spoke on the book, I would wear this jacket. So I sent an email to Loudmouth Golf, the CEO, and he sent this jacket to us to wear when we spoke on the book. So it does definitely get attention.
You know, it's good to have friends. I'm sitting here, of course, in Bloomberg Studios. I just stepped out to grab a sound booth, and we want to talk to you about this phenomenal new book. And I wanted to ask you, what is the analogy of the zebra, which is part of their jacket, that beautiful jacket, and the cheetah in the business world, and how does that translate?
Well, the zebra looks different than all the other animals in the animal kingdom. It's very distinguishable. It stands out. And really, in a saturated and commoditized world where so many people look the same, they're saying tired old things, quality, service, relationships. We really need something that gets the market's attention. So when you see a zebra, you know it's a zebra. The cheetah runs faster than every other animal in the animal kingdom. So I see that as a person that's on the inside of where deals are happening. They're entrepreneurs. They're deal makers versus order takers. The cheetah is a person that's really out there ahead of the curve and making things happen. So one looks different and one runs faster than everybody else.
Which is a great analogy. In fact, I should probably have you on my Bloomberg show on the C-Suite, because so many times I interview people, and quite frankly, they give me some, what I'll say, kind of some bullshit answers. I mean, it's an answer that everybody can give, and what I have to do is keep drilling down to get to that zebra, get to that cheetah, you know, that unique value statement that they can make that's only for them, and it's really tough for companies to do that, isn't it?
Well, we've been taught a lot of things early growing up. Even in my own life, I was taught to fit in versus stand out. I remember my own mother saying, "Go to this party, son, and be seen, but don't you dare be heard." You know, we're taught to go along and get along versus get better. Don't talk to strangers. We make a living talking to strangers every day. So these are all things that we're taught early in life that really set us up for failure, especially if we start a business, because we just do what everybody else has done.
Exactly, and when you and I look like we do, we're such eye candy, we got to stand out. That's important for us to do. So you tell me, how does a zebra create a unique value which can't be replicated or can't be copied? Because that's a very good premise in the book.
Well, when you think about this concept, people ask, where does their unique value come from? And in my mind, it comes from their unique past. You know, you think about your own life, being a chief marketing officer of a major company like you have. You know, when you look back, every person has a different past than every other person. So we've had a unique past. We've had unique mentors. We've had a unique education, unique experiences, unique struggle. And when we can package this special up, then we've almost got a proprietary model that cannot be replicated or duplicated. You know, I tell people about the book that companies we work with, you can read the book and try to do some of these things, but it's going to be hard to do it without us helping you, because we know what's in the concept. And so when we look back, we package up our special and we sell our special to the world. Many people have never been taught that there's no classes in how to create a unique value, and it's all by looking back at all these unique experiences.
Well, you had me at value right off the bat, so that was the way to do it. And I love that. You know, be you. and be radically transparent about it. Now, one of the cool things in the book that I really, really liked was the current of urgent. And what is that, and how can people get it out and sell it to others? How can they do that?
Well, the current of the urgent has been one of the most popular concepts in the book, and that says that life is happening so fast. It's like we're in a class 5 rapid. We're getting so many text messages, emails, social media blasts. And number one, it's just hard to get out of the current. Number one, for you personally. That's right, and it's everywhere. The next thing is, once you get out of it, how do you sell to people who are in it? So really, I've been teaching a concept called immediate asset. How can you become an immediate asset to someone that's in this current? That you got to get their attention. You got to overcome obscurity. Then, once you get their attention, how fast can you show the unique proprietary model that you've created so they see you as an asset versus a liability? That's the current of the urgent. So how do we get out of it? 1, how do we lead people in it? 2, how do we sell to people in it? 3.
Well, Coach, why is it so hard for people to grasp that concept of, like, overcoming this commoditization, you talk about in saturated markets, and why do these big companies try to hide all of their special people? I mean, that's one of their greatest assets.
Well, their argument's going to be standardization, we got to control it. But here's a good example. I was working with a mortgage originator who outsold his teammates on his team by $30 million. I said, you ought to stand out. You ought to create your own landing page. You ought to build your own personal brand. So he did that. Within 2 weeks, the bank made him take it down.
Exactly. So that's a no-no, man. That's a big no-no. Somebody's coming down there. He got visited by more HR people and attorneys probably than I did when I was working in those big companies.
Yeah, and so I called the bank and I said, who was the moron that told your top producer, who outproduced everybody by $30 million, that he couldn't have a simple landing page that redirected to the bank? See, what they really did is they neutralized him. See, he's a top performer. He stood out. He looked different. He ran faster. And they actually brought him down to where he's a commodity, where we think we can get him anywhere in the world. And that's the hard part. Big companies hide the special of their best people. It's very frustrating. And for what I found by writing this book is that probably there's only 1 out of 10 people, 2 out of 10 people that even get the concept of why they need to look different and run faster than their competitors. So it's been frustrating at times getting that across to people.
Well, it's tough for me. I've been spending the entire morning at a big corporation trying to get around the rules and regulations to get things done that I need to get done for my television show. And, because that C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett's a little bit different kind of show than the way people normally do it. So talk to me about the elements of this book and the presentation that the world's warmed up to. What are those elements that people are just saying, hey, Coach, man, I really dig this. I get this.
If you don't get anything else from the book, there's 3 big concepts I think that's really important. 1, we got to look different. We got to stand out from other people. We got to get attention.
You do, man. You do. Look at you. You look different. It's awesome.
Yeah, we got to get attention. That's 2, we got to run faster and what that really means. And 3, we got to be agile. I remember hearing you speak, and I think in Dallas, Texas, talk about when you're CMO and you took 3 months for somebody to change the clock at Kodak because the clock was wrong. That's not agile. When I meet people today that are agile, they can make quick decisions. Their companies move fast. They're entrepreneurial thinkers. I mean, they are really moving and shaking. They're not turtles. They're cheetahs. And too many companies are just turtles. It's layers and layers of bureaucracy. We got to sit on it for 3 weeks, and we miss the opportunity. You can show up 5 seconds too early for opportunity, but you can't show up 5 minutes too late.
Exactly. I'm sitting here laughing because I'm thinking I've never had cheetah soup, but I sure have had turtle soup.
Yes.
One gets eaten, the other one's doing the eating, right?
That's right.
Hey, growth in a division, or in a big company is sometimes really, really complicated. How do you break it down and just make it simple with your book, Zebras and Cheetahs model?
Well, the model originally came from a $2.2 billion bank hired me in 2009, the worst economy ever, to come in and grow their retail sales. I had 500 people in 43 cities, and they wanted me to massively grow their accounts. In a 1-year cycle, we grew their accounts by 43%. So we went from 7,000 accounts to almost 11,000. And at the end of it, I stepped back and said, what did we do? What model did we use? Because growth, how do we get 500 people on the same page doing the same thing? Then we step by step put a model together that I used to do that. We replicated it in the home building industry, insurance industry, other industries. And that's really the model toward the end of the book. We want to take complicated growth. We want to make it real simple. We want to get total engagement. We want to have a heavy coaching model. And we really want to teach everybody in the company how to look different and run faster. And we've got proof of concept of that in the book in multiple scenarios of how we use this model to grow them. And we made it fun. We made it engaging. We didn't make it boring of, hey, we want to grow 20%. That means nothing to nobody. I mean, we really got down and got every person involved in something that showed massive amounts of improvement.
Well, I like this book. I read a couple of books a week, and this is a good one to read. I always love to be on your radio show. I always love to listen to you because you inspire me. So what makes it different? You know, what makes you a zebra and a cheetah, and how do you package it up and sell that specialness?
Well, for me, I'm a former championship coach with an entrepreneurial mind. As you know, I spent a decade building championship programs. I took that coaching intensity and acumen, I brought it over to the business world. So I think like an entrepreneur on growth, how to take low-level resources to higher levels of productivity. How do we turn liabilities into assets? But I bring a real intensity from that coaching background because we didn't recognize time. We come in at 6:30, went home at midnight. You know, there's a different kind of intensity. I actually got in trouble when I first got into corporate America with that. They would give me little teams of people. I'd call them at 4:30 in the morning and 12:30 at night, and the COO would call me and say, Coach, these are employees. You can't work them like you did your coaches. And I said, okay, I understand. But that's really what makes me a zebra and a cheetah is I'm really a coachepreneur. This cross between a coach and an entrepreneur and bring a certain type of intensity with the business acumen to the table.
Well, I like that, coachpreneur, because, you know, you really do have to motivate people. I talk about you can't take a horse into a trailer that doesn't want to go into the trailer. I use that cowboy analogy. You're the same way. Well, Coach, let me tell you, it's been a pleasure having this hangout with you and being able to share your book, Zebras and Cheetahs. It is freaking awesome. I love the book. I love you. How do people reach you? Let's give them give me a little plug, a little commercial on how they get a hold of you.
Sure. You can go to CoachBurt.com, which is the easiest way to find me. I'm on Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Vine, everything you can imagine. I do spell my name Micheal versus A-E, so make sure that's my mother making me a zebra early in life, spelling my name different.
You're standing out early, man.
Hey,
standing out early.
The E is for everybody needs a coach in life. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. So you can follow us at all those places. And I encourage you to listen to the radio show. We have people like you on the show every single week. We've got Micheal Gerber in a few weeks. We've got Marcus Lemonis coming up in a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
We just had Grant Cardone, Larry Wingett's coming up in a week or two. And when you have time in between your shooting, I want you to come back on and talk about C-Suite.
In a heartbeat, I'll come back on. Well, hey, listen, we're talking to the good coach, Micheal Burt. We're talking about Zebras and Cheetahs. This is one good-looking guy, a guy who can wear that jacket and pull it off. You got to buy his book. So get out there and buy that book, and I can't wait to be able to put some of these practices together on my show, The C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett on Bloomberg. We'll talk to you later. It's been great hanging out. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Get out there and buy that book. Help somebody be special and stand out.
That's right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.